So, James Damore, once again in the news, hopefully for the last time. And I've done, including this one, 3 videos on this guy. Now, if for those of you who don't know who this guy is, this was the guy who basically was fired from Google after he sent round a manifesto basically insinuating that women were not suited to working in the tech industry. The result, he was fired. However, what this turned into was, conservatives are not allowed to express their viewpoints in the workplace. And basically insanity followed. And I said, after my very first video about this guy, I said, you can guarantee he'll have a Patreon set up. What did he do? He had a Patreon set up and people gave him money continuously. It was absolutely insane. Now, I said this from the very beginning. This guy had absolutely no leg to stand on at all. He had not a single shred of evidence to back up a single of his claims. Look back at the interview he did with Jordan Peterson and secret Google employee, and every time Peterson asks a question about something going on Google, James would go, oh, it's like this, and it's so bad. And then the other guy, who was the secret Google employee, would turn around and go, well, actually, it's not like that, it's like this. In my mind, that one interview should have set alarm bells off in these people's heads that this guy was trying to go for any excuse he could to try and, this was the real reason why he was fired. It wasn't because he sent round a stupid manifesto that would, if you sent it round any company, you would be fired from. Let's not understate that. So what happened to him next? Well, honestly, that's where he should have just faded into obscurity. But he decided he was going to sue Google. This was less than a month ago. Now, I think it was literally just a couple of days ago, the case has been thrown out. Why? Oh my word. He was making the most outrageous claims. He was making this claim, one claim in particular, that while he was there, they had this meeting in this atrium place, in this balcony, and Google and everyone started, they got everyone to start chanting, kill all men, and, kill all conservatives, and some, just outrageous stuff like that. And I literally said, there is no way he can prove it. This is a fantasy he has made up, and people buy into it. As long as with everything else in his lawsuit was pure fantasy. He didn't have any shred of evidence for it. It was just, my client claims this, my client claims this. It wasn't, my client claims this and has evidence to support this. There was no emails submitted. There was no, collaborating testimony submitted. Yet this guy continually claims that when he sent round his manifesto memo, that there was a ton of people agreed with him. If there were all these people agreed with him, why didn't they come forward and say, hey, no, we agree with him, we're going to join him in this lawsuit, we're going to, stand up for him and agree with him in this? They were nowhere to be found. This is classic, partisan politics. You see this every Christmas, where Fox News go with their war on Christmas. And James Damore and people like Jordan Peterson are trying to now start this witch hunt idea that if you are a conservative or that you hold conservative ideas or values, you cannot express them in the workplace because if you do, you'll be fired. And James Damore is their go-to poster boy on this. So if he is their go-to poster boy, why then, when he went to court to try and sue Google for wrongful termination, I think it was, something like that, why then did he get completely thrown out on his ass? The guy was a complete loser, full stop. He was a complete idiot for sending the memo he did, and he deserved everything he got to him. And if you are still giving money to his Patreon to pay his bills, then you are the biggest sucker there is.